Christopher Schlegel here. In this video, I want to do a little primer on chord melody playing. Chord melody playing is a style of playing where you play the chords and the melody all at the same time on a guitar together, right? So when I first started playing guitar, like a lot of rock and blues guys, I learned that it was either the chords or the melody, the rhythm or the lead. So when I learned a song, it was either I was playing the chords, and then I was going, okay, or I was playing a lead or the melody. I was, and then a little, maybe a lead or something like that. But it was one or the other. And then I heard some jazz guys playing, doing both at the same time. It was really neat. Later on, I realized it was more of a classical guitar approach, because in classical guitar, you're expected to play the melody and the chords, the accompaniment, bass lines all at the same time. But this is more along the lines of playing jazz songs like old standards, Tin Pan Alley songs, Great American Songbook songs. You can do it with pop songs, whatever. And this is kind of like I was influenced by Joe Pass and George Van Epps, Johnny Smith, some of the earlier guys that did this kind of stuff. There's all kinds of great players that do it now. Martin Taylor and Tommy Manuel, all these great, amazing players that you can learn from. But sometimes I have students that are just interested in getting a little bit of a window into it. How do you even break into that style? So what I've done is put this little video together to maybe give you a clue on how that works. The first thing is you really need to know how to play all your inversions, all of the neck. You need to be able to, play dominant 7 chords and major 7 chords, minor 7 chords, all over the neck in any possible configuration, right? And you need to be able to read the melody so that you know where to put it, because you're going to need to know all those permutations in order to figure out how to map it on the guitar, okay? But let's assume you've got all that taken care of, okay? By far the best way to learn is to arrange songs, learn tunes, So with that in mind, I picked a really simple tune, a really good one to use. I got my lead sheet here, my real book lead sheet of Satin Doll. Got some good old Duke, so that I've got, the melody and the chords. I've got everything I need right here on a lead sheet, okay? And so I'm going to refer to this, Satin Doll in C major. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the melody. I'm going to say, okay, what's my melody? And I've got a really simple melody here, just bouncing back and forth between a couple of notes. I've got a A, G, A, G, A for the first measure, and the next measure, same thing, but even simpler, A, G, A. And it's a fairly quick little melody as far as I've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then to the next measure, right? So it's pretty simple. And so now what I need to do is I need to figure out what chord configuration can I play along with it. Well, it's got a D minor 7 and a G7. So I'm doing 2 and 5 from a C major. So right away I'm thinking, okay, I need this A, and I need to play a D minor 7 chord with it. Well, that's perfect. That D minor 7 chord right there works great, But when I want to play the next note, that doesn't really work. So I'm going to immediately see that I need to play this G over here. So I'm going to go with this approach. D7, the A on top, right? I'm going to put my pinky on that note right there. So I've got a D minor 7, and I've got that A there on the B string. And then I need to do this with my G7 chord. So I've got a dominant 7 chord. Well, that's easy because I can just put my G7 here. Hey, that works out great because there's my melody note on the top, right? So you'll see that this approach of mapping out the melody and then finding a convenient place to play a bass note or a chord is the core. It's the core engine of how this style works. You need to find the melody in the upper register, right? And then put a chord with it so that you can actually play it together. Now with this particular piece, you can actually use a pick and strum. Johnny Smith did great all that time doing that. But I'm going to put my pick down because I like to do a lot of just finger picking with that. It helps to isolate the bass note a little bit ahead so I can get a little bit of a swing in there. I can also put little anticipation notes, you know. You know, a little bit of a bass note walking into the next chord. Okay, so the next two measures of the A section, E minor 7, and A7. The cool thing here is that it's the same melody and chords just transposed up, okay? So instead of D7 to G7, it's just up here. The melody note is now B and A, and the chords are E minor 7 and then A7. Okay? So right away, you know, you've got the beginning of the A section done, right? All right, okay, now here comes the little turnaround of the A section. What we've got in the melody is a D and then a C, back up to D, and then we come down to this A flat down here, or B flat and A flat, B flat, and then G. So the melody is D, C, D, and then B flat, A flat, and then B flat down to G. The chords that go along with that, A minor 7 goes along with that D. That's a little tricky because the A minor 7 is here. So you got to stretch there, you know. Or you can play A minor 7 here, but then you got to put the D here, or reach it here. That gets a little, you know, awkward. So what I realized is the best place to do this is play this A here on the D string. I've got just part of that A minor 7 chord, and I can reach the D easily here, right? And because the melody note is actually on the upbeat, it's not on the downbeat of that measure, I can play the A first, and then the rest of the chord. And then gets that note. And then I need to be able to play a C and a D with my D7. So I've got this A minor 7 first with the D on the top. And then I'm going to switch to this D7 here at the 10th fret and play C, D. So I've got... You could just stay in this position and then hold down this D here because you're just part of the D and the 7, right? That's fine too. Or what I was going to do, and then gives a little richer sound on the bass there. Then the next thing we're going to do is this B flat to A flat, B flat, G. Okay. The chord that goes along with that B flat is A flat minor 7. Well, that's pretty easy because all I have to do is put my A flat here. There's my A flat minor 7 chord. Put the B on top, B flat on top. Makes it a minor 9 chord. And then the next thing is D flat 7. I'm going to use a D flat 9 right there. It's the top note of that right there. And I can put my pinky over there. If you want, you could play the D flat 7 here. Like this, like a regular one. Either way is perfectly fine. But I'm going to do it like this. And then I'm going to come down here for the last one, the C 6-9 chord. And the G's on top. Okay. So now, you know, we're all the way at the end of the A section. Let's review. We've got D minor 7 with the A and the G. G. And then we've got E minor 7 and A with the B and the A. And then we've got the A minor 7 with the D. And then D7. And then A flat minor 7. And then D flat or D flat 7. And then C. G on top. Now we need two measures to get back into the A section, get back into the head. So in most charts what they do is they have an E minor 7 or E minor 7 flat 5 here to an A7. And the neat thing about that is that they hold that G over. So we want to find a way to hold that common tone. So what I'll do is come up here to this. E minor 7 flat 5 with the G on top. And then the A7 with the G there. So I'll play, for example, I might play 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is our 5 chord that gets us back into the D7, or D minor 7, right? Alright, then we got... Right, so you go. That's the A section. The second time through on the repeat, they're gonna they usually do this little walk up pattern, because what we're gonna do is walk up to the B section. That's in F. In this particular chart, they've got a C 6/9, and then a D7, and then a D sharp diminished 7 up to an E7. Sometimes I'll walk it like or maybe how about there's a million ways to do it. The bottom line is they want you to walk so that you can get ready to go to the B section, which is an F, right? Okay, so there's the A section for Satin Doll. And then you can start again and do the whole thing, okay? So hopefully we can do the B section in another lesson sometime. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that encourages you to do a little bit of chord melody playing too.